All right, so we continue to follow the crisis at our southern border. The northern border is also setting new records, overwhelming staff and shocking residents in the northern areas. For more on this, let's welcome in New York Congresswoman and member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, I understand that you were just watching this debacle. What's your take on it?
Well, I spent all day Friday with the border agents from what's called the Buffalo sector and the Swanton sector, which is my district sprawls across almost all of the shoreline of Lake Ontario, from north of Clayton, New York, all the way to Lockport. So it's a huge border district, and we've been hearing from our border agents, and so they asked us to visit, and I spent almost a day with them listening to what's going on, how the cartels have outsmarted Joe Biden, and how our governor, Kathy Hochul, is nothing more than an accomplice for Joe Biden's bad policies, and really giving the cartels an open book to come to our border and to walk people across. And we're seeing a surge, as you cited, over 846% surge since last year of illegal crossings. And this includes a lot of different types of drugs, exotic drugs like ecstasy, fentanyl, other illicit drugs, human trafficking, human smuggling. This is happening, and it's continuing to go on because no one's paying attention.
Right.
And by the way, many of our border agents have been diverted to deal with the crisis at the southern border, which is at record levels.
Right. Well, your district borders Canada, as we just had the map up there, and it's a big problem. So if we don't have borders, like, how can we claim a country? What do we do about this, Congresswoman?
Well, first of all, we have a lot of laws in place that we don't enforce. And as the agents described to me, there are laws in place that that are interpreted differently by different administrations. And they were explaining to me the gross dereliction from really the true meaning of statutes and the laws that we have in place when it comes to, for example, enforcing Title 42. These agents described to me, even on the northern border, Title 42 is going to be a problem. We also have concerns about the really just freewheeling type of laws that are in place that they don't enforce. And in Canada, Mexico does not have a visa requirement if you travel from Mexico to Canada. So the cartels are creating IDs for illegal immigrants. They're loading up drugs onto commercial airlines because they have ways of sneaking them in, getting those across the border. They land in Canada, in commercial airline, pick up an Uber, and the Uber takes them to the border, and the cartels get them across the line. And this is what's going on because there is no visa requirement. And this is a way that we could work with Canada and Mexico to crack down on that. And look, there's a huge problem because we deal with a lot of people who are asylum seekers. And by the way, they're the smallest margin, but they tend to be people who really want to be citizens and really do have cares. The legitimate asylum seekers. The others are what they call economic reasons. They come here for our benefits. And then there's the really bad guys. The guys who are coming here to exploit and make money off of our open border, selling drugs, selling people. The smuggling aspect of it, whether it's drugs or people, is really, really critical. And that's what's hurting our communities. And New York State, on top of it all, New York State gives illegal immigrants licenses, which you cannot determine who they are when you go to make a vehicle stop.
This is like stuff that we shouldn't have to deal with. But Congresswoman, I got about 10 seconds left. What is the staffing between the southern border and the northern border? Is it much lighter on the northern border?
Well, yes, obviously it is. And part of where it depends on where you are. We started the Northern Border Security Caucus with colleagues all the way across the northern border of the United States with Canada. But in upstate New York, a lot of it is Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence Seaway. So you have to get way over into the eastern Quebec area where you can actually have a land border. So the resources are percentage less, but a lot of them, again, have been diverted to the southern border, which puts us all at risk. And I'll say, I know there's no time, but this agent said to me, the truest statement is every state is a border state because our border is so porous, whether it's the north or the south. We are putting our own citizens and our taxpayers at risk every single day.
Congresswoman, we appreciate fighting the good fight. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.